Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the sixth day of Avenir 2021. The event, Avenir, is a 9-day virtual career guidance program organized by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir under the aegis of the Board of Directors of the Indian Schools in Oman. In keeping with the interesting theme for Avenir, it's the choral color orange on day 6 today. It reflects musical intelligence, which is related to the skill in the performance, composition, and appreciation of musical patterns. Students having a high quotient of this intelligence tend to have an ability to recognize and create musical pitch, rhythm, timbre, and tone. Let's begin with a Let's begin the day with a quote by the most admired composer and pianist, Ludwig van Beethoven. Music is the one incorporeal entrance into the higher world of knowledge, which comprehends mankind, but which mankind cannot comprehend. While Avenir 2021 opens up a world full of opportunities and possibilities for our aspiring students, we hope that they soar higher, supported by the wings of values and ethics on one hand, and an attitude to serve and make choices towards the greater common good on the other.
It is for this very reason we have in our midst today one of the leading tabla players, Mr. Anand Lahiri. He is the disciple of the legendary tabla maestro Pandit Kishan Maharaji of Banaras Gharana and has carved out a niche for himself around the musical world. On behalf of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir, I, Alicia Riaz, and my friend Joe Daniel extend a warm welcome to Mr. Anand Lahiri. Welcome to Avenir 2021, sir. We're delighted to have you with us today. It gives me immense pleasure to also welcome the chairman of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, Dr. Sivakumar Manikam. We wholeheartedly welcome dignitaries from the Ministry of Education, officials from the Indian Embassy. A cordial and courteous welcome to all the members of the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman.
A hearty welcome to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, the Honorary President of ISWK Management Committee and other members of the School Management Committee of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. A heartfelt welcome to principals, vice principals, assistant vice principals, CBSE officials, HODs, coordinators, supervisors, and the entire teaching fraternity across the globe. I am extremely delighted to welcome students from all over the globe, parents, and all other invitees. We cordially welcome distinguished members of the business community, members of the education cell, our chief sponsor, StudyCo, and our other valued sponsors, our digital partners, media partners, and valued donors. Thank you, one and all, for your gracious presence here this evening.
It is with sheer joy and great pride that I undertake the task of introducing our guest speaker for this session, Mr. Anand Lahiri. Mr. Anand Lahiri was educated at Hansraj College, Delhi University, and he began playing the tabla from a very young age. Later, in his teens, he began to perform with Ustad Vilayat Khan. Anandji performs frequently with stalwarts of Indian music like Pandit Rajan Sajan Mishra, Ustad Ghulam Ali, and Vidushi Sulochana Brihaspati, Pandit Devu Chaudhary, and Pandit Pratik Chaudhary, among many others. His expertise in music and communication has allowed him to bridge the gap between Indian and Western classical music. Apart from playing the tabla, he is also a professional darbuka, djembe, cajon, drums, and keyboard player. He was awarded the Most Valuable Young Musician Award by ex-Chief Justice M.N. Venkatachalya. In 2001, he was awarded Talmani by Sur Shringar, Mumbai. It is indeed our fortune to have a personality of such stature with us today. Thank you for joining us, sir.
A message for our participants. Dear participants, you are requested to fill in the feedback form, which will be posted in the description box towards the end of the session. Filling this form is necessary as it will fetch your participation certificate. You're also requested to post your queries in the Q&A box. Our speaker will answer them in the Q&A session. Now, with great honor and pride, I invite Mr. Anand Lahiri to please address the virtual gathering. We're all truly honored to have you speak to our participants at Avenue 2021 and eagerly await to hear from you.
Namaskar, Adab. It's my pleasure to be here and to say something about my art. See, today my topic is about career counseling and all. Before I start anything, I would like to present one Vandana of God, that is God Shiva, because my style of playing belongs to Banaras, and Banaras is being worshipped all over the world as the oldest city, and the people of Banaras are deeply rooted to the Shiva Mandir, and the Vandana of Lord Shiva is going to create a great vibration, I hope, amongst the listeners. So, after this Bandhana, I will say something about the careeristic opportunities and about the good and the bads of my subject, though there are no bads, but all what I have experienced in my life is good. So I hope that you would like this Vandana. I will start my rendition with the Vandana of Lord Shiva. So today there is no accompanying instrument with me, so I would like to take the help of this iPad for the Sangat Lahara. Dimaka dima dima bajat damru dhat 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 nachat shambhu nath bole nath bam 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 ke bam dhage dhage de degin nag nag tagit de de tagit dhage de dak dan nikal tigit dhag tigit dhag dhag dak dan nikal tigit dhag tigit dhag dak dan nikal tigit dhag dak. This is the bandish, and every word like dimaka dima dima bajat damru. Damru is the oldest instrument which we find generally in the hands of Lord Shiva. So the words and the sound of tabla will match. Let's see how. Dimaka dima dima bajat damru. Dhatata dhata dhata nachata shambhu. Nath bhole nath bhole nath. So this is the way we have to play it. Dimaka dima dima bajat dimaka dima dima bajat damru dhat 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 nachat shambhu nath bam 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 ke bam bam dhan dag de digin nag takit de de dag de dag de dag den ne kit dak den ne kit. So this was my humble pranam to Lord Shiva. Now I would like to say something about the rhythmic instruments. See, there is a difference between Western rhythmic instruments and Indian rhythmic instruments. Basically, in Western style of rhythms, we generally use drums, And to understand the notes, we have to see the notation bar. So this is how notation bar is, of 5 lines and with a rhythmic sign in it. It's a thing where we can see the rhythmic notes and we can perform. But in Indian music, every bowl or every rhythmic note which we play, it has got a definite sound. So like I just played dimmer ka dimmer dimmer, so this is the sound. Now if I say dha terekete ghede nag dene tag tagde tagde tagde, so all the things, all the sounds which I am producing from my mouth is, sounding the same when I'm performing it with my fingers. So this is the basic difference. We don't have to see any notation to play. Our music is totally devoted and totally devoted towards God, you can say. And we create different things within the boundary of the discipline. So that this is a about rhythmic forms. We have got so many different instruments all over the world, the darbuka, the djembe, so many African instruments, djembe, conga, bonga. So this all instruments have got different rhythmic languages, but the difference between Indian instrument is we have a different language for the instruments also. So that's what attracted me from the very beginning, because I used to go to concerts and I used to see great maestros playing things, and it used to excited me. That's why I started with tabla, and then so many other rhythmic instruments also, you know, kind of, I loved them. They also, their sounds also excited me. Then I started learning a little bit of drums also, djembe from somewhere, darabuka. So this is how I have started my career, and gradually this process of learning, went on, with my studies. And so slowly I thought that I could make up a career with it. And because it will be the greatest thing for a person if he has a career which he loves. I mean, everybody, every one of us, we go to office, we go to business places, we do business, but after we come back home, we sort of relax after a whole day of work, isn't it? So we at least we say ki, yeah, this is the time to take some rest and to enjoy life. But when we are working, we musicians, we are working, we are enjoying. This is the best way of enjoyment. Even if I'm not playing tabla, I can count it in my mind, I can imagine lots of compositions, I can compose things. So this is a great thing, for a person to always think of something good and remember good things in your mind, which especially for the students, if you are concentrating in a particular thing like fine arts, so it can make out all the bad evil thoughts from your mind, and always can inspire you to develop your own potentiality and own personality. So it's a great thing. And when a little child gets an opportunity to perform something, let's say in a school auditorium, and he is performing in front of more than 500, 1000, 5000 students maybe. So if he or she succeeds in doing that, then it's inner confidence will grow up. And for us artists, it's the best thing to have audiences looking at us and appreciating our art. So this is how I would like to, you know, emphasize the, things. And I think there is some problem with my connection. Uh, uh, Let me. Okay, I can. I mean, can you hear me? I mean,
Yes, sir.
are you able to hear me? I'm having facing some problems here.
No, you're very much audible, sir.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you so much. So now the thing is, कि, about career, if you say particularly of any field, so there are so many ways. First of all, you have to, you know, do a particular study, and you have to go in a channel, and properly you have to spend at least 10-15 years to achieve a, maybe you are doing any business or anything like, but you have to do some course, and you have to give some time, give some thoughts, and gradually you will be able to understand the the subject, I mean the thing with which you are going to work, in future. So that's what is also necessary for music also. I mean, people think, okay, it's just a mode of entertainment. We can hear a song and we can sing the song, and we can make out a career with it, or we can hear one rhythmic phase from someone, and if we are playing it, we can become a good performer of rhythmic music. But no, this is not right. For students, I am saying कि you have to spend time. And one and only one word which my guruji, my teacher, he used to say कि बेटा, practice makes perfect. Whatever subject you may choose in life, if you practice, if you spend time with it, then only you will be able to achieve success. So in our field, in the field of Indian classical music, this spending time or this practice you know totally relates to inner devotion, devotion towards your guru, devotion towards your music, and devotion towards yourself, inner self. So without thinking about the results, I had to spend so much of time just to make out something out of nothing. It's I would like to give you an example. Last to last 2019, I had a lecture demonstration in a camp school, Lungen, Switzerland, and there was a drummer also. So so he was a good drummer, European drummer. I think his name is Johannes. He's a good friend of mine now. So I may forget the name. His name is Johannes, as per as I remember. I so he said that you are also creating rhythmic phrases, and we are also creating rhythmic phrases. I mean, so why people say that Indian music is tough and Western music is not tough? I said everything is tough. You have to do, you have to spend time, you have to practice. But Indian music, especially Indian rhythmic instruments, Indian vocal style of singing, And just like the Western vocal style of singing, classical vocal style, classical style of playing tabla is literally a little bit what I have experienced. I am not, taking apart anybody's observation, but as I have experienced, because I have played drums also, I have played tarabuk also, I have played so many other instruments also. So I found it after, from after maybe 30-40 years I'm in this field. Started learning from the age of 4, and every day I practice, and I have played so many other instruments also, rhythmic instruments. According to my experience, what I have experienced, ke tabla, pakhavaj, mridangam, these instruments are very tough, maybe tough than the drums. So that was the argument with that student in Europe, in Switzerland. So what he said, what I said, कि you play a particular rudiment or any particular phrase in your drums and give me 10 minutes, 15 minutes time, so that I can copy it, and I can play it maybe in a slow tempo, slow rhythm. And I will give you the basic lesson of tabla, and I will give you 1 hour. If you are able to play, then you will prove your point that Indian music is not tough. So he played something for me, and I copied it within 10 minutes or so. I just copied the drums thing, and then I asked him to just make out this sound with one fingertip. The same vibration should be created when you just use your one fingertip in this, instrument which is made of leather. And half an hour he tried, and he couldn't make that same vibration, though he was a good learned rhythmist. He was a good drummer. He is a still now he is a good drummer. So what I said, ki when you are trying to make out sound without any language from any instrument, maybe this is a wooden table. If I give a tap, I'm making out sound. But when you are trying to make out some language, scientific language, like da da din da 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 din na, so you have to give some effort, because it's not like कि एक बार टैप करने से ही वो आवाज आ जाएगा. Particular note, particular point, it should be, I mean, your fingers should be set into a particular point, and with the fingertip you have to make this sound. So there are so many, different, way of practice you have to learn just to make out that vibration. Even after practicing for 40 years, when I listen to very good tabla maestros like Ustad Zakir Hussain and so many other, like Abhijit ji, who is also one of your speakers here. So I find that no, I have to practice a little bit more just to achieve that sound. It's not about speed. It's not about. So this is the devotion which I have learned, which I have achieved from my Guru ji, my teacher, and it's a very good, accompaniment. I mean, you have always you have one, friend with you. That is my instrument. Always you can make out so many things. You can make out composition, you can make out so many rhythmic phrases, you can create and you can create, you can, you know, it puts you out from the materialistic world and takes you through the to the devotional world. So this is how I have experienced music. And I think regarding career opportunities, there are two ways. One way is to select certain universities which have courses related to Indian classical music. You apply for that, and you uh, take the help of the teacher, and you learn, and you give exams, just like the study things. So you achieve your MA, your doctorate. And there is a second way also for Indian music and other music also. But practically it is still very popular in India. The second way is Guru Shishya Parampara, that is learning from the Guru himself. Guru, the word Guru means the person who, you know, gives light to your life. And if you are not, you know, restricted in any particular study method, if you can devote your life on the lotus feet of Guru, and do only one thing, that is a different way. That is the way, we used to learn in Guru Shishya Parampara. I used to stay with my Guruji. Here his uh, picture, Pandit Kishore Maharaj ji, the greatest tabla maestro I've ever heard in my life. So I have learned in that way. And what, the thing is कि when I listen to different other instruments also, I couldn't learn, like by reading or by any other means. I went to those artists and I asked them, please teach me the way you are playing. So, like that, I have learned Darabuk also from an African so many years back. So, this is how I think you can make out career. And this is the careeristic point of view as well as the devotional point of view of music, what I have experienced in my life. And now I think it will be, good time for you students to ask me a few questions so that I can answer them. I hope you are happy with my demonstration.
That was such an extraordinary and inspiring session, Mr. Anand Lahiri. I'm sure it has made some of our students seriously consider music as a career option, especially to become a percussionist as their career choice parallel with their academics. Now, we would like to request our most honored speaker, Mr. Lahiri, to kindly answer a few questions put forth by the audience. Sir, may I now invite our moderator for the session, Ms. Asha Mohan, to share with you the questions raised by our audience.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Alicia. Very good evening.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Anand Lahiri ji, namaskar.
Namaskar.
So your session was truly enthralling. A
Thank
lot
you
of
so much.
information shared to the generation next, and I'm sure they have a lot of takeaways from your speech and session.
Thank you so much.
So we have a few questions which have come up from the audience. If you
Please,
may permit, can I go ahead with it?
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
We heard you roll your fingers on your tabla very frequently over this session.
Yes, yes.
From where do you get this kind of a zest and vigor in your performance?
The thing is, it's totally, a practical matter. if I'm trying to willing to make some sound out from my instrument, let's say, uh, right now I'm thinking about one fast composition where I have to roll my fingers. So the composition goes like this, ऐसे जा रहा है. So it's moving fast, but it's not possible for me to play it in the very first day. For this you have to, that's what I was saying, you have to practice. This is the bowl. In the beginning, after lots of practice, lots and lots of practice, because it's very tough. After so many years, after 4 years, 5 years, you can make out this sound. So this is the way you gradually improve and it is same in Western instruments also, and in different folk instruments also. You have to practice to move your fingers, make your wrist flexible. There are so many scientific theories which have been developed by our teachers, and you have to take help from a good teacher also at the same time. So this is how I have done it, and I hope you liked my answer.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
We also got to know another query, sir, from a
yes,
student.
yes, yes, yes,
During your session, we got to know that you have traveled around the world.
yes, yes.
How do you manage to mingle with their culture, and how do you burn out your stress?
So this is the most easy part for us musicians, because music has no language barrier throughout the world. As you see, because in European countries, it's very difficult to make people understand English also. Especially, I went to Munich, I went to Lungen, Switzerland, I went to Paris also, I performed there also. So there they speak French or German, so or Italian. So it's most of my students are from Europe, so they like my performance. And the problem was for the first day, when I know if there were 50 students sitting there for my workshop, only one or two could understand English. So I always had to take help from a person in the beginning days, to just make them understand, okay, what I'm trying to say, you know. But gradually I recognized, okay, I don't have to speak with them. My tabla can speak with them. I will send you one video if possible, in the in future. I had a workshop with kids of class 3 and class 4 in Switzerland. So they were not able to understand anything but my tabla language. I mean, if I am saying da da tete, tete da da, da 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 da. So the way they started enjoying it. Oh, how is it possible? The same sound is coming out from that instrument, and people there, they respect Indian music. In European countries and in America also, USA. So then I started doing my workshops and presentations like this, and that's how I communicate with people of different languages.
Thank you, sir. So
Yes,
basically, music is a universal language that
yes,
brings us together.
definitely, definitely.
Thank you, sir. You have you have mastered, I should say, quite a few percussion instruments.
Yes, yes, yes.
What is common amongst all of these?
That, that's what I was telling you. Percussion instruments like drums, darabuk, they create sound. I mean, which are, you know, bounded in a disciplinary boundary. Say we have got a beat. So this beat, it comes from drums, but it has got a disciplinary boundary. If I am playing it 4/4, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and the same way, this is 3/3. So there are disciplinary boundaries which is universal. If you are counting 4/4 in an Indian rhythmic instrument, and you are counting 4/4 in a Western rhythmic instrument, the rhythm cycle is same. See, the difference is the sound. The sound from the darbuka. If I play the same rhythm in darbuk, it's going to sound differently. If I play this rhythm in drums, it's going to sound differently. If I play it in tabla, it's different. So that's how. But the rhythmic phrases, the beat cycle, the distance between the first phrase to the second phrase, if you are playing a particular beat circle, is same. So I have played duet with drummers also. So that is the universal language, and which ultimately keeps you moving regarding while the performance is going on, and it's natural. So that's how I have experienced about different instruments and Indian my own, because I played other instruments also, but I love tabla because it has got more creativity, I believe, than any other instruments.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It was quite clear. One last question.
Yes, definitely.
A student asks, if I join the music field, what
Yes.
kind of special skill sets will I develop?
First of all, if you are joining a music class or anything, you are joining because you want to express yourself towards others, because music is your inner expression. I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you. If I talk in a rude manner, and use a good language, but talk in a rude manner, how it will sound? How it will sound? It will sound very bad. I mean, I'm saying, excuse me, excuse me. There is a difference when you speak, because if you are speaking it from the inner core of your heart, you have to speak it politely, and you have to use certain melodic tune with your voice also. So that is the first skill. Okay, it will develop your inner persona. Secondly, it will give you confidence, because if you are singing in front of the audience, if you are playing something in front of the audience, first of all, to face the audience, if you're learning from childhood, from the school level, you are facing the audience. First day will go very nervous, and then gradually, after so many performances, you will start developing the inner confidence. And if the people sitting, the audience sitting in front of you, appreciates you, you will have that special moment, the moment of appreciation, so that you can feel that God has created me, I am also someone. So this is a very good observation what I have made from my experiences. It feels great. It's the greatest thing for an artist. It's not money, it's not nothing. You just, you hear the claps of the audience, and you see ki, oh my God, you are so kind to me that you have given birth. You will show respect to your parents कि, oh, wow, I'm so grateful to you that you have given me birth. I mean, I can experience this. This is more than money. This is more than anything in this world. So for me, I mean, it's the greatest thing as a musician. Which then again, there are some materialistic aspects also, which I have experienced during this lockdown period. During this lockdown period, so many teachers, they were, not getting proper salaries, and so many things happened, and people were going through so much of financial crisis, especially the people related to teaching things. Uh, all schools are not like Al Wadi, Al Kabir, they are not able to maintain the staffs properly. So people and in other aspects also, in other fields also, corporate world also, there was a huge demotion. But as an artist, uh, I had nothing to do. It was just sitting and doing internet classes, with which I got money from my students, and sitting at home. I experienced, because sitting at home, doing your class, doing your practice, is so happy, because what I'm doing, I'm loving it. It's my entertainment. If I'm talking to you regarding my music, it's not my work, it's just my own entertainment. So, and at the same time, I'm earning money also. So this is a materialistic point of view. I'm just joking about it, but this is what happened to me. We experienced, me and Mandakini. Now we have got more than 45 students in USA and Europe. We are doing 3 hours, 4 hour session every day, 5 hours sessions, class, because students, they love Indian music, and we are teaching all over the world. And our YouTube channel, within this lockdown period, 1 year or 1.5 years, it has got 25,000 subscribers. Within this, with more than 26,000 actually. So there, from there also we are getting money. So it's a materialistic point of view. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank you so
thank you
very
so
much,
much.
sir. Thank you
Yes,
for patiently answering all the questions. Thank you for
thank
the
thank
wonderful
you,
session.
thank you for inviting me.
Our pleasure, sir. Now I request Alicia to take the proceedings further.
Thank you, sir, for the support and guidance given to the large audience by you. You meticulously attended to their concerns and so patiently shared your views in the course of the discussion.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Should I disconnect?
Joe, kindly wait for 5 minutes, sir. Joe, please check your mic.
As we draw to the end of this enriching session, I deem it my great privilege to propose the vote of thanks. Let me first express my profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the magnanimous benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower abundant blessings on His Majesty and His country. We extend heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Mr. Anand Lahiri, for the informative session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting me. God bless you all.
Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Sivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, and other honorable members on the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Thank you for your encouraging presence and guidance at all times. Our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, the Honorary President, Indian School Management Committee, and other members of the Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir Management Committee for their profound encouragement at all times. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to the prudent captain of the ship, Mr. D.N. Rao, Principal ISWK, Honorable Principals of the Schools of the MENA region, Indian Schools in Oman, Vice Principals, Assistant Vice Principals, Coordinators, Supervisors, and the entire teaching fraternity for your support and guidance. Thank you. We are indeed grateful to our platinum sponsor, StudyCo, gold sponsors, Gene Group of Institutions, Grey Matter Academics, and Vellore Institute of Technology. Bronze sponsors, Middle East College, Thapar University, MIT World Peace University, Pune, and Dallas Baptist University. Our digital partner, Spectrum, and our media partner, The Arabian Stories, for their support in making this mega event a tangible reality. I wish to thank each and every student and parent for their valuable presence in making this session a grand success. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. Thank you to the ISWK team for making Avenir 2021 an event we can all be proud of. The next session is by Pandit Abhijit Banerjee with his speech titled Passion to Profession from 7 to 7:45 p.m. See you there. Goodbye and thank you.